It's a lot different from baby number 1, where you were focused on everything baby needs, and now you're like, baby's fine. What is everything else that we need? Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I talk about motherhood, I talk about pregnancy. We do things kind of natural, kind of granola, eco-friendly, all of that kind of stuff. If you're into that, please subscribe. If you are not new here, hey, thanks for coming back. I started a podcast last year, and it's my favorite thing. I get to interview my gurus who have helped me along this process. Having a platform like this, I get a lot of people sending me messages and like giving me advice, and I'm like, I want them out into the world. So I get to interview people and share that information with you. I'm also on Instagram stories a lot, so if you want to go connect on Instagram, that would be cool. Today, I am, good golly, we're getting there, peeps. We are getting there. I'm 35 and 5 days pregnant. I went in to go get my, I call it the booty swab test, the strep B test, and I was like, okay, we're doing that today. And they're like, no, you have to be at least 36 weeks. So I was like, I would have waited 2 more days to come in just to get it done. Whatever, we'll do it next week. Today I want to talk to you because I am getting closer. And it's starting to like sink in a little bit. Now I have to go in weekly to my midwife, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's only like 4 more appointments and then we're getting closer. So I'm trying to prepare. With baby number 2, I just feel like you're like, what do you need to prepare? Like if this baby showed up tomorrow, they need to eat, they need diapers, they need a place to sleep. It's me that needs all the things to recover postpartum. I'm gonna give you a couple of things that I'm preparing for baby number 2. I may or may not have done with baby number 1 because I was so concerned about making sure she had enough blankets and like enough clothes and like all these things that you kind of realize don't really matter. All right, let's go through it. I have like 14 or 15. I like to say loose numbers because sometimes I throw some in there. People that are detail oriented really get confused by my numbering because I am not detail oriented, so sometimes I just... First thing, I'm doing Hypnobabies. If you are like, what's Hypnobabies? I have 3 videos on this, I think. Like, what is Hypnobabies? My birth story. Maybe I just have 2 videos on it, that numbering thing. So I basically am practicing now. When you get the Hypnobabies course, it is like a birth course that tells you all about all of your options in labor and like different things that can go down. It just makes you feel really empowered and interested, or like educated on it. I'm starting the Hypnobabies, and with my first pregnancy, I had the time to go upstairs and listen, and because you have the course and then you have the audio, so you listen and it teaches you how to relax your body and like kind of get out of your own head and just let your body do its thing as much as possible. But I've also talked to moms who have done hypnobirthing and then had C-sections, and they're like, I'm so glad that I had Hypnobabies because it just made the acceptance and like the stress go way down. Like I wasn't panicked. I was just kind of like calm and whatever. Everyone's experience is going to be different, but I thought that was really interesting as well. So with the first pregnancy, I got to go for 45 minutes, listen to these things, practice the techniques, and it says in the course, if you fall asleep during the trainings of audio, it's okay. Your brain is still processing it. And I was like, okay. I had a lot of people DM me saying like, yeah, I fell asleep almost every time and it still was super great and effective. So now I don't have that much time. So at night before I go to sleep, I plug it in, I start the hypnosis, and it actually helps me fall asleep, which is incredible in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy. So I've been loving that. Thing number 2, I'm working with a clinical nutritionist, and I did a podcast with her. She's great because she does data-driven stuff. So she talks to you, figure out what labs need to be run, and then she gives you natural solutions to fix them. She has helped me immensely with my mood and my serotonin support. But I'm running labs now and then postpartum, which my like nerdy self is so excited for, just to like see how things are changing and if the changes that we made a difference, and what my hormones do postpartum, because last time it was gnarly, which leads me to number 3. I'm looking into placenta encapsulation. And Seth is like, what? Like, that sounds so disgusting. You're gonna like ingest your placenta. And I'm looking into it because we had COVID. That can like mess with your placenta. My midwife was like, I don't know that I recommend encapsulating your placenta if you had COVID. The woman that I'm talking to about encapsulating said that she does it case by case to make sure that it's not calcified and it's not black before she encapsulates, obviously. But my clinical nutritionist recommended it. There's a lot of reasons why. Maybe I'll have her on my podcast to talk about it. I'm kind of dabbling in the idea, and Seth is like, that sounds disgusting, but if it's going to help avoid how I was postpartum the first time with just like insane moods and so much insanity, he's like, I don't have to ingest them, so I support it. It's kind of wild. Like, you have to bring your placenta out to her in the hospital. So I'm looking into that. Thing number 4 is expecting and empowered. I did these workouts with Aaliyah starting 3rd trimester when I found out about them. I did them postpartum 2 times, and I've done it most of this pregnancy, but again, it's been so hard with a toddler. But what I like about expecting and empowered is that they are 2 sisters, a women's health physical therapist, and a nurse. They've put this course together, and there's pelvic floor work that like prepares your body for labor. There's stretching, physical strength stuff, which also prepares your body for labor. So depending on which trimester you're in, they'll do lunges, but in the 3rd trimester, they won't do lunges. They'll only do squats because you don't want to like do this with your pelvis in the last. And they do like 10 million squats to increase your stamina for labor. And then they have a postpartum one that starts like literally day 1 of postpartum, but it's not about bouncing back. And I've had them on my podcast, and they're like, we never post before and after pictures because we don't care about that. We care about your actual health. We want you to be able to sneeze without peeing your pants. So like, we want you to recover and feel normal. We want to fix your DR. If you're working out, you might like lose some weight, but that's not the purpose of this. So when I say you start day 1, you're not running a marathon the day after you give birth. You're laying on the floor and maybe doing a Kegel. They just want you to chill and do a couple of these pelvic floor things to repair your pelvic floor after a human passes through it. I'm an ambassador for them. HEYSHAYLA is a code that you can use with them if you're interested in it. I recommend it. I think that it's really great. And if I don't have time to do the workout, I'll at least do the pelvic floor work because I think it's really important. Thing number 5, I'm reading this book called The First 40 Days. And it's kind of a Chinese tradition where for the first 40 days, mom does nothing. And like someone comes and helps cook and helps take care of the baby. And like it's a bunch of Ayurveda stuff so that you want warming foods. And they have a bunch of recipes with bone broth and things to like take care of yourself. If you don't have that support, like a lot of Americans, I feel like it's just not. I'm going to be working on those recipes beforehand with the bone broth and freezing the meals that they recommend. I needed to read this book because I was ready to just like power through. Be like, all right, we're going. I'm having this baby, but like I still have a toddler. I still have a business. I still got to get things moving. And this really was like, no, you don't, and you shouldn't, and you can't. So now I'm like reframing my postpartum to rest and like know that I will take time off so that I can enjoy it. I don't want to be like frustrated that I can't work because I have to be with my toddler, with my baby. Like this is such a sacred and sweet time with your baby. And in addition to that, we do meal kits now. Healthy food is important to us, but we just don't make it. So then we're either eating like small healthy snacks or like not. These meal kits, I've tried a bunch of them. I've tried Daily Harvest, unfortunately. I tried my first trimester, so I've got like nausea a little bit around some of those meals. I've tried Green Chef, which was great. I did Factor, which you couldn't filter out by dairy, and some babies can't do dairy. I, as a human, can't do dairy. So I just am starting this one called Cook Unity, and I'm an affiliate with them. So I think you get a discount if you use my link. But I'm excited to try them. So I can click no dairy and then all the non-dairy options come up and I can choose whatever I want, and they look delicious. They're actually getting delivered today. Having that postpartum was crucial. Just to be able to have this meal that I could warm up and eat was literally everything, because not only are you trying to recover, your partner's trying to figure out what the H is going on with them becoming a new parent, with you and your hormones and your lack of sleep, and you guys need to be nourished. So the first 40 days recipe is definitely one that I'll try and stick to closely because it is so nourishing, but I'm also gonna get these meal kits. I'm gonna look into a postpartum doula. Apparently you can hire a postpartum doula that will come to your house, clean and cook and make sure that baby is latching correctly and that you're getting taken care of and that you can take a nap. And you think like, oh, well, I have my partner. Like, why do I need that? Your partner's freaking exhausted too. And so they're gonna get exhausted and want to lean on you because that's what you do. You lean on each other, but you're exhausted leaning on them, so they need some relief as well. It's just so insane. And postpartum with COVID last time was gnarly. I didn't want anyone over because I was afraid of them, that they were gonna bring COVID into my house. So this time I'm like, okay, how am I gonna create my support system and thrive? Okay, the next number, the birth plan. I actually just created one. So I am obsessed with learning about labor and delivery, and I'm obsessed with just learning different techniques for how to do it. Like, I think I might become a doula when I retire or sooner. It's just so cool to empower women like that and to support them through whatever happens in their birth. Like, I want to be the doula that someone's like, I want a scheduled C-section. Will you be my doula? And I'll be like, yep. I support whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. Whatever. I'm not a doula yet. This birth plan is 13 pages, and it's an accumulation of other birth plans that I found, stuff that I know. It's not just like, I'm going to laminate this and bring this to the hospital. It's a prep. So you get to like read through it and go, what the heck is this thing? And either Google it or preferably bring it to your provider and be like, what is this? And they can explain it to you. You and your provider can be on the same page, which is so important. I love my midwife and I love my hospital. So I feel like anything that they decide to do, I feel supported in it and I don't feel like I need to fight them on it. But if I just like didn't prep anything and I just showed up with this list, now they're gonna be trying to read this while I'm giving labor. So like it's meant to be a conversation starter for you and your provider, for you and your partner, so your partner knows what these things are and that they can advocate for you. So the birth plan I think is important if you're not going to do like a course or a class or you don't care to dive into it as much as I literally loved diving into it. Ina May's Guide to Childbirth is like the best book, and then the hypnobirthing course is, those two just make you feel so empowered. Thing number 7, I said baby could come tomorrow, we would figure it out. Mom needs to be taken care of. This is a good starter kit. So this is kind of an investment. It's called Frida Mom. There's a $50 option and a $100 option. And I say it's an investment because the $50 option lasts like 4 days. It's really good if you have no idea what to buy. That's something you should ask your hospital, is like what things they provide postpartum. My hospital gave me everything and then let me take stuff home. But the nice thing about this is it comes in this little caddy that you can just set on your toilet. So they have a peri bottle. It has a little nozzle that goes up so you can squeeze so the water sprays you because you're not trying to wipe postpartum. You're trying to clean and maybe dab. That's it. Then it has these little boy shorts, 4 of them. You can also use granny panties or depends, like the adult diapers. I didn't do that, but I know a lot of people who did. So you have the underwear, then you have the pad, and this can be any pad. Frida Mom has icicle pads, so you like crack them and it freezes. You can also make your own pad sickle. So you just take a pad, you spray some witch hazel on it, you stack them and you put it in the freezer in like a Ziploc bag. I was really confused with this because I was like, is it gonna absorb anything if it's already got all the witch hazel? Or like, is it gonna melt and it be all wet? That wasn't the case for me. It just was cooling, which was really nice. And then they have cooling pad liners, and this is a witch hazel liner. It's just a white kind of that you put in your pad. And then a foaming spray. This was nice too because it just felt like it got everywhere. I would add lidocaine. Some people I think use arnica. I don't know that for sure though, but I just started looking and I thought I saw that and I feel like arnica would burn. I don't know that much about arnica, but what's not in this box is stool softeners. Please do not stop taking your stool softeners too soon. I did, and I cried when I had to poop. So take them longer than you think you need to take them. Number 8 is childcare. I kind of mentioned this. We're keeping our babysitter, we're keeping our daycare. Apparently, as soon as you pee on a stick and see a positive line, you need to figure out daycare. And I believe that because now we were looking into like a Spanish immersion daycare for Aaliyah, and I'm on the wait list for like months out. Especially infants, I feel like the wait list is usually longer than like toddlers. So if you're gonna need childcare, if you're pregnant, you should start now. Or if you haven't started, start now. Not only is it helpful for me to have help with her, it's helpful for Seth to get some time to do what he needs to do, and it's helpful for her to have something to do. I want to play with her, but I'm going to be exhausted. I'm going to be breastfeeding. I'm going to be not a very fun playmate. So I am so happy that I can have her go play with kids. I'm a little nervous about the sickness, like her bringing home a runny nose with an infant. She didn't get sick till she was like 2 because we were on lockdown with COVID. We were exposed to no germs, and then she started daycare. I just think like, oh, I'll be breastfeeding, so I'll be able to give the baby the antibodies that they need from whatever illness she brings home. But I'm excited that we have those options. My babysitter, my daycare, and Seth's paternity leave all end at the same time. So I'm working on finding a nanny through the summer just to give her something to do. Okay, number 9's kind of silly because it's one that you'd think would be very obvious that we had no idea. You want to find a pediatrician for your infant. We didn't do that. So at the hospital, like whoever was on call or whatever came, and then we had to figure it out, and we figured it out. Like it wasn't a big deal. We need to pick her a doctor for her. I don't know why I didn't think of it. We've switched twice with Aaliyah now. Once because we moved the second time just because I didn't like the doctor. So this third time, my midwife said, when you call, ask the front desk girl, like, I'm looking for somebody who's holistic, who will maybe give me a natural remedy before a medical remedy. We do delayed vaccines, like, who aligns with that? And I just kind of threw it out there, and she immediately had an answer. And I was like, okay, great. So if you are doing any of those things, or you want more of a holistic approach, ask the front desk person which doctor best aligns with that and see if they have a suggestion. I'm due a week before Aaliyah's second birthday. I was just like, can we do a 2-for-1? Because she needs to go in for a 2-year appointment. I'm like, can we just do a newborn and a 2-year all in the same appointment? They were like, sure. But you have to figure out the pediatrician. I guess you don't have to, but I would recommend it. So the next 2 things are things that I need to do like ASAP. One is the hospital bag. And honestly, I don't know what the hype about the hospital bag is. Like, there's all these YouTube videos about what to pack in the hospital bag, and I'm gonna make a video about it because why not? You're gonna pack like you're going somewhere for 2 days. So you're gonna want comfy pajamas, don't pack leggings. I remember asking my cousin, like, so should I like bring leggings? And she's like, no, sweatpants. You're gonna be walking out in a diaper. Glad I asked. Clothes for a day, but like ones that you're gonna be chilling in a hospital in. Toothbrush, toothpaste. Hospitals can be kind of dry, so chapstick and lotion, a lot of people said. Maybe some essential oils if you want. Like a phone charger, maybe a computer if you're gonna be there a couple days, but it's also nice to like not have any of that stuff and just enjoy the time. A camera would be a good one. Even like this, I love these things. For like some cute little Polaroids or something. An outfit for baby to leave in. But otherwise, I didn't change her out of the hospital outfits the whole time because she was just swaddled. Maybe some nipple balm. I feel like your nips don't get too chapped for a while, so you should be good. But like, maybe pack extra clothes for your husband because Seth didn't pack anything. So I was like, well, lucky for you, I packed 2 sweatpants. There's some right there. I brought oversized sweatpants and he got to wear those. Don't overthink the hospital bag, just pack some stuff. And then the other thing, 11, is the car seat. So we haven't installed the car seats yet. Infant car seats are easy, so you just like click them into the car. So Seth needs to put one in his car. I need to put one in mine. Mine has the convertible seat for the toddler. And apparently, infants go in the middle and then the toddler goes on the side. So I need to do that movement. But I'm like, if I were to go in labor right now, I would need to grab my hospital bag, grab the car seat with the base, throw it in the car, and Seth could just install it the day after at the hospital. But I need to remember to bring that. So that's another thing. I felt like that was a big step the first time. Like, the baby's car seat's in the car now. It could happen anytime. The last 3 things are actually things that baby needs, right? So thing number 12 is sleep. My friend is renting me her snoo. Seth thinks that I'm not going to use it because it kind of goes against everything that I do, but my mental health might love it because it could help to ease baby when I have to do something with Aaliyah and comfort baby. But he's also saying that we should buy a side sleeper, which is basically a bassinet where the one side comes down. So it's like they're co-sleeping, but in their own space. They're right next to you. You don't have to reach over anything, manage that. Because Aaliyah still comes in our bed at like midnight. So I'm not trying to have that crossover. I still want baby close. So we're gonna try this new and I'm gonna give it a good effort. But we're also gonna have the other one just in case. Diapers. We use cloth diapers and we do elimination communication. Both things I have videos on and both things we're going to do again this time. So the cloth diapering, they don't start till they're like 8 pounds. So typically people just start with disposables, especially because with a newborn, it's just intimidating and whatever. And you're not gonna buy 12 infant cloth diapers for like the 3 weeks that they fit in them. But a friend of mine had a bunch of them and lent them to me for Aaliyah and I haven't returned them yet. 2 years later. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna use them and then I'll return them. Because now I feel confident with the cloth diapers. They're so simple once you get it figured out, especially when they're breastfeeding. The poop is water soluble, so it goes in the washer and then it just goes away like mud. Like it's not like poop that would stay. It dissolves in the water. So we're gonna do that from the start. Easy. But we also got gifted a ton of infant disposable diapers. So I'm sure we'll be using some of those. We do like an 80-20 method. So we do cloth diapering 80% of the time, disposables 20% of the time, mostly at night or like if we're on the go and we don't wanna carry back poopy cloth diapers. Aaliyah's almost potty trained. I'm like real impressed with her. So that's kind of exciting that we're only gonna have one in diapers at a time. And then clothing. I was really OCD about organizing the clothing. So we know the gender, but we're not sharing the gender. I was really OCD about organizing the clothes. So everything is like, this is newborn, this is 1 to 3 months, this is 3 months to 6 months, this is 9 months, this is 12, this is 28. So I need to actually take that newborn, those clothes out and see what's gonna work for this baby, get them washed, just like get them out. That's what I need to do. And then here's your bonus. It's not number 15, it's your bonus. The nesting purge is happening. So I literally am like, we need to get stuff out of here, get the stuff that we need in here. We're gonna finish the basement in the next couple months. We're gonna try and get a good outdoor space finished in the next couple months. I'll do videos to share that whole process so that you can see what we decide to do. I also bought a carrier, and I'm not sponsored or anything by this, but I have the one that goes on your back that's good for toddlers. Aaliyah loves it still, and it's super comfortable. I could probably put a newborn in the front. It's called the Unbohemo or something, or Unbohemo. And then I just bought the Scout. These are not cheap carriers, but I think that baby number 2 especially, I'm going to be carrying all the time because Aaliyah is still going to want to be active. I'm going to be carrying this baby everywhere. I hope they like it. Some babies don't, but I just bought that as well, and I'm excited about that. So there's your bonus. So that's it. That's the list. That's what we're doing for baby number 2. I feel like it's a lot different from baby number 1, where you were focused on everything baby needs, and now you're like, baby's fine. What is everything else that we need? So if there's anything that I missed that you're like, no, please remember to do this, or this was super important for us for baby number 2, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye.